Well, we're starting out our prep day, and this is a lot of repair work and things I'm going to do as I was talking about. First thing I want to show you was this little guy here. This is a figure from Steve Kish. He painted it from a Ral Partha. I'm pretty sure a Tim Mears sculpture, 1976. Very cool figure. Steve Morley painted this in 77. The magnet fell off the base, not uncommon for a figure of this vintage. And so because it had a large Ral Partha base on it, I basically got one of my bolt action bases, magnetized it, and glued it on there, so I'll be able to use this guy again. It's kind of neat because this is one of Steve's actual player characters from back in the day. This little white shield with the black axe on it was a magical item he found, a magic shield that I actually mentioned in a video of mine, how he fought off a demon. And he later acquired this frost blade, which he put a John McEwen miniature weapon on it and cut off the whatever weapon was on it, which I think might have been an axe. And, you know, it's a really nice piece. The interesting thing about it is, as you see the shading, you realize that this wasn't done with acrylics. This was done with Humbrol enamels. I mean, all the shading work that Steve did back then, all the detail work and everything he did was bordering things in black, then painting them on enamels, and then cutting in any highlights and darker places with the actual paint brush strokes. At the time he painted this, this was more likely a super spectacular paint job for the table. His work back then was pretty incredible. Nowadays, obviously, it doesn't look, you know, by modern standards to be really a high end, but his skill level got better and better, and he turned out some really fantastic work over the years, some of which I'm sure you've seen. But again, I just put a new base on it, got it painted black, put more flock in there, and this guy will be going back into my D&D Zero box for my old adventures. There are just a lot of really cool things you can find out there for your games. I found this old dude at a con for virtually nothing. It is a 1975 custom cast Decreespieler Lord of the Rings line of a Dunlander. Great for a Celt. I wish I had about a dozen of these. I'd like to have them for Celtic warriors and stuff. But, you know, they're out there. I find these things every now and again. A lot of the Dunlanders didn't get used a lot in D&D games because, well, you know, they're not as sexy as a lot of the more medieval knight types. So you didn't see a lot of these type of guys, but they were there for, you know, barbarians or bad guys or whatnot. And they worked out pretty well. So I just started him out in a basic brown shade, and I'll eventually, you know, work him into some colors and stuff. And, you know, he'll look great when I get him on the field. But this is a nice little thing I wanted to show you. This is a Disney giant. I don't know what movie it was used for, what cartoon or whatever it was in, but he's great. I picked him up at an estate sale for, I don't know, nothing. I started to just touch him up a little bit, add some burnt umber for the belts and highlight colors. I gave it a wash to sort of take a look at the pieces. The paint job on it was not particularly good. I rub and buffed the metal a little bit to make it look better. But I could have used it straight of the way it was, and it would have been really good for, you know, a game where you were just using pre-painted figs. But I wanted to always do my art a little bit more, well, because I'm crazy. But the nice thing I liked about this guy is he's going to be great. I mean, he's a good little giant. The figure's great. You can get these for, you know, like I said, you might have them in your little brother's toy box, or maybe your own toy box if you had this stuff back from then. Again, I don't know how old it is. I magnetize everything, of course, because all my boxes are metal, usually for transporting my figs. It's just a fun thing to do. When I clean this guy up, I'm going to do a little dry brush on him, on his surcoat and stuff to make him just look a little bit better. Give him a last wash, flock the base, and he's going to be a great little piece. And I think he's going to run this Friday night in my Enlightened game. I'm DMing, so I'm going to throw a giant at them. This will be one of the bigger monsters these guys, this particular group, has run into. So hope I don't kill everybody. But you never know. There's just so many cool things out there. I mean, I love this set of the pre-painted D&D figures. This was the one, I think it was called the set Into the Giant. This set was really great because every box set came with a painted giant miniature. This is a stone giant. I really like the figure. You might have seen some fire giants in the last video that I was showing that I had back there. I love these little giants. They just take a little bit of touch up, maybe a wash. You flip some flock on the base. They look gorgeous. And that's all you have to do. And they're ready to go for your game. I love, you know, sitting down and painting the golden demon stuff and doing all the other things. But really, a lot of times it's just great to be able to get something on the board that looks kind of cool and you're ready to game. So until we have a chance to speak again, fight me devils, fight, for I hate peace, and paint on.